My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy South Lake morning. Oh my gosh, this weather is amazing to me. You know, it's really funny. I'm from New England, so when I get up like this, I tend to think of a spring day, late spring day in New England, not a January day. Unfortunately, well, fortunately for me, but unfortunately for most people who like this weather, it turns out we're supposed to have some very January-like weather over the next couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to getting the windows back open, airing out the house. I can't stand the summer because I got to have the house shut up all year long, you know, month after month after month. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We're having a great day today. We have a great show for you. What are we going to talk about today? Okay, well, we're going to talk about nothing. So we'll see how I can accomplish that. We are going to talk about what's happening. You got to stay tuned for that. Help you achieve your goals and get to where you want to be to see all your dreams come true. On Cup of Joe, we're going to cover Seeing is Believing. And finally, we were supposed to have a guest. We're making an adjustment. Our dear friend and friend of the show, David Noff, with Ace Relocation Systems, was supposed to come on and talk. Everything was worked out, and his he had a situation late night. He's about to have a grandbaby. We want to say congratulations. Our prayers, you know, are going out to him and his wife and his child who's having the baby. So health and happiness for everybody. We understand forgetting us in that case, but gotta be careful when you forget Joe. I can hold a grudge. You know, you blow me off one too many times, I'll never have you on the show. How about it, Jay? Am I wrong for holding that grudge?
Joe, I'm holding a grudge against you this morning. You've been Joe must got knocked out this morning. He's talking smack. So I'll tell you what's on the agenda today, Joe. What's happening? Joe's about to get knocked out. That's what's happening. Let me tell you about holding a grudge.
Keep it up, buddy. Keep it up. I had to remind one of my boys once. I said, son, I've forgotten more about hurting people than you know. Anyways, moving right along, we're going to hear from our family of sponsors. And when we get back, we'll get started. Don't go away. We're going to have a lot of fun today.
My name is Michael Singh, Agency Principal of Singh Insurance and Financial Services. We offer auto insurance, home insurance, and life insurance. Our office number is 352-432-1646, and you can also check us out on our website at www.singhinsurancegroup.com.
50 West, pre-leasing now in Claremont. A first-of-its-kind commercial development in the Southeast. Contact us today to reserve your spot in this historic development. 50 West, unique, quality, Class A. For more information on leasing, contact Ashley Punn at 407-403-4165. Karen Arlano at 407-948-0767. Or visit lease at 50west.com.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Claremont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. And welcome back. Just like we had a good time in the preview section of the show, we've been having a good time during the station break. So we're going to try to keep it on point today, but I'm warning you, we may get a field of our subjects. All right. Today, we're going to talk about nothing. Yes, it's Nothing Day. It's National Nothing Day. We actually celebrate doing nothing. I was actually reading about this day. It happens, a lot of these days happen like the fourth Thursday or the third Monday or a specific date. Martin Luther King is one of those. I think it's the third Monday in January. Well, apparently, every 7 years, that means that Nothing Day happens on Martin Luther King Day, which kind of eliminates the whole purpose of having a Nothing Day because you have something to celebrate. So the best suggestion I saw about celebrating, look, we all would like to do nothing, right? You ever take a day or an afternoon where you just say, to heck with it? Nothing today. I'm done. I'm not doing my work. That's going to hang on my desk. I'm not doing the chores. The dishes can sit in the sink. I'm just doing nothing. I do it all the time. Well, all the time when I'm tired. I got to be motivated to it. I get to the place where I'm so busy. And I know Jay is like this. I'm so busy. Finally, I find myself to a breaking point and I say, that's it. Phone's off. Leave me alone. I've actually parked my car in my backyard and turned off all the lights in the front of the house so nobody would know I was home. I know some people call that a staycation. I'll do it for an afternoon just because I need you to leave me. Anyways, all right, Nothing Day. Best way to celebrate Nothing Day, I thought this was the most unique. Take a glass, put nothing in it, put it on your counter or your desk, and remind yourself that today is Nothing Day. Celebrate nothing, honor nothing. Don't go on social media. All right, what's happening? All right, well, you know what? What's happening is part of our continuing series of how to get your goals. And in Cup of Joe, we're going to talk again about faith, like I said we would, and how to develop some of it so that you can believe in what you're going to do. But you might need to do something. Look, it is the 16th of January. Are you still working really hard towards your goals or towards your New Year's resolutions, which I told you not to make? Make commitments, not resolutions. The thing that most of us miss is that ability to sit back and say, what's happening? Did I exercise like I said I was going to, or did I blow it off? We don't stop with, well, I know I blew it off. Look at why you blew it off. What's happening? What's happening in your life to prevent you from doing those things that you know you want to do, you know you need to do to get to the place you need to be? Maybe you're staying up too late. Maybe you're not getting up early enough in the morning. Maybe you've had one too many cocktails once or twice a week too often. You don't have to necessarily be a hardcore alcoholic for having an extra cocktail to affect your life and your business and your dreams. Maybe it's an extra helping at dinner. My point to all of that is you have to be able to examine what's happening, and sometimes we can't examine it ourselves. I have people in my life. Jay has been this person in my life most recently, because Jay and I haven't known each other a terribly long time, but we have gotten quite close. So that's kind of really cool. And kind of the nature of being together every day too. But we're simpatico in our dreams and our goals. And someone like Jay helps me look sometimes at what's not right. My friend John C. Donahue, we're real close in that, holding each other accountable to, well, if you're not doing it, why aren't you doing it? And this is what I see. Or talk to me, because maybe you can't see what's going on, so you need somebody else to see it. So if you really want to change something in your life, whether it's your relationships, your health, your weight, your finances, your career, you might need to examine what's really happening, and you might need somebody else to do it. How about it, Jay? You ever been in that spot?
Yeah, and I want to just comment on accountability. And Joe is I think Joe would agree that our days have changed drastically because we are accountable to each other every single morning. We wake up and we have something to do Monday through Friday, and it really gets the day going for me. So I excuse me, I appreciate Joe and what he's doing this show. What started as a really quick kind of a conversation about what he had done and what he wanted to do, and then what I wanted to do and what I had done, turned into what we're doing now. And it's hard for one person to do something big, and you need good people that can help you do that, and Joe's that person for me. I mean, he sits behind me and motivates me every single day. Usually most of the Cup of Joe things are about me. Secretly, it's like he's just talking to me. You guys just get to hear it.
I got a secret, Jay.
Yeah,
usually the Cup of Joes are about me.
They're all about me. So we're helping each other out, and I think that if you don't have somebody in your life that is doing that for you, or that type of a person for you, I would encourage you to try to find somebody, or at least the closest thing. Even though Joe does point out things that need to be adjusted on my end that I have absolutely no control over, which we won't get into.
But that's how you learned you don't have control over it, right?
That's how I learned I have no control over it. So, but no, it's great, and I agree with you, Joe. And 2020 can be a great year for you if you understand that not always throughout the year it's going to be great, and you're willing to accept that and work towards making it great no matter what. And I mean, so far it's we're 3 weeks in to 2020, Joe, and I've had 1.5 good weeks and 1.5 bad weeks. So, moving forward, it depends on what I want to do. Do I want to keep fighting and do what I know that we can do if we stick with it long enough? Or, I could give up and just move on to something else. But, what did you talk about yesterday? What do we have to quit doing, Joe?
Quitting.
We have to quit. We have to quit quitting.
Quit quitting and decide. That's
so
right.
If you're tired of starting over, then stop quitting.
Yeah.
You got to quit quitting. So no, I enjoy days like this where it doesn't go according to plan, Joe, because we get time to talk about all kinds of other things and recap where we're at.
It's really kind of cool in that, on that subject, if you're willing to accept, I was actually just sharing with some people recently in a group setting that, one of the ways I changed my life from the guy I used to be to the guy I am today is I had to accept that the time period of my life that I learned tools didn't necessarily mean I had the effect of them. You can teach me to use a saw and a hammer and a level and all of that stuff. It doesn't mean the house gets built, right? I have to actually use the tools to build the house. And the whole reason you teach me to use the tools is when something doesn't go to plan, then I can adjust. And our life is like that. My life changed when I learned to use the tools, but it didn't mean it was where I wanted to be. I had to actually spend some time using those tools. And part of that was accepting that life wasn't always going to be great. I have amazing children, and I have some amazing, great times I remember and some lessons I taught that they got. But there was a lot of pain and heartache in there too. And a lot of just loving them through my mistakes and their mistakes and the bad things that happened that I had no control over, that they had no control over. That's such an important concept to see what's happening for real. The problem is most of us get into this fantasy, right? It's why people quit. They get into this fantasy of the way it's going to be, and when it's not like that, they give up, right? But Jay and I, we're creating something completely new, so we have a little bit of an advantage. While we both have certain backgrounds that help in the things that we do here, and we do have a vision for what we want this to be, we're creating something completely new. So if it doesn't always fit into what we imagined, it's okay, because we realize we're creating something completely new, and it shouldn't necessarily fit exactly the vision we had. because the beauty of that is it'll actually be better. We just have to keep at it long enough. So, I'm very grateful to come here every day. I was sharing with Miss Doris this morning that, I got sick a couple of years ago, and one of the great blessings this show is on my life is I'm responsible to people. I'm responsible to my guests, to Jay, to Miss Doris, to you guys, to show up. And because I show up and you don't want to see all grumbly, I don't feel good, I didn't sleep good. I come in and I put on my happy face, and you know what? The beauty of that is I start feeling it. So by the time the show is over, I've had a great conversation with somebody. We figured out some of the issues in the world, how maybe we can touch them. I'm exposed to people touching lives and changing the world. And so when the show's over, I'm ready to hit the ground running. I go do my real estate business, and I bring all of that cool energy to all the people that I do business with as far as real estate goes. So anyways, that's what's happening. See, this is what happens when our guests change. We can expand on some of these subjects a little bit more. Finally, Cup of Joe. Cup of Joe today is called Seeing is Believing. Look, we're talking this week about launching off of the book I talked about, Miracle Equation, unwavering faith, plus extraordinary effort over time gets you all of the dreams and goals you want. And that's what we've been talking about this morning. But you have to be able to build that faith. How do you do that? So many of us have something that we want, but we've never had that thing before. How do you go from a lot of us would talk about money. A lot of us, when we grew up, our parents lived paycheck to paycheck. In my case, my dad was always looking for the big score. And because he was always looking for the big score, we never really necessarily planned or saved or maybe sacrificed this so we could go on a vacation later. It was always the money coming in was getting spent. And as a kid, I learned to live that way. And when I became an adult, I lived that way until I got hooked up with Miss Pat and, realized that a family wasn't necessarily going to work that way, and I didn't have to be my dad. I could make some changes. The problem was I didn't have any faith in the fact that I could be that guy. I could be the guy that owned a house that was paid off with a couple of rentals and a nice retirement income, maybe owned a business of his own and ran that and didn't have to work for somebody else, because I'd never seen it. It's so much easier to have faith in something if you've seen it modeled or if you've experienced it, right? They say that people that make $1 million consistently make $1 million, not necessarily because they're worth that, although they are, but because that's their expectation. They have faith that they're going to be paid that kind of money. A guy who has built a successful business will most likely build another one if he fails at the first one. If something happens and his first business goes out, most often over the course of time, he'll be back on top because he knows how to do it. He has the faith that he can do it. In our lives, sometimes when we're building a dream, building a goal, we've never actually seen it. So how do you get that faith? I believe in Jesus. I believe in my heart, because I've seen it, I know the change that a relationship with the Lord, a conversion of spiritual nature can change your life, can take you from being an awful dad to a good dad. This is one of the examples of my life. Take me from being an absolutely awful husband and not much of a great man to being a dedicated, loving husband and a contributing member of my community. Okay? And I know that because I've seen it, because I've walked through it. I've seen the miracles God has done in my life. I have faith in God that he can make those miracles. But you know what? I've never built $1 million business. How do I get the faith to do that? Will God help me? Sure he will. Okay? But I can't sit on the couch and expect it to happen. One of the best ways, and it talks about this in the book, one of the best ways to build faith in something that you've never seen is to see it. We talk about affirmations, and one of the reasons I really like this book, Miracle Equation, is it tells you how to write affirmations, not just I'm a money magnet or, we've heard about affirmations. They've almost become cliched, right? I'm I'm 100 pounds less. I'm 100 pounds less. I weigh 210. Well, you could say it all day long. Sooner or later, it becomes a lie, right? One of the cool things about that book is it talks about how to write an affirmation so it's not a lie. He uses the example of saying, I'm going to lose 100 pounds so I can get healthy, and I'm going to do it by exercising 4 times a week and not eating processed food no matter what. This is an affirmation you can say every day. And here's the key. By saying something and attaching action to it, if I say I'm going to build my business, I'm going to triple my real estate business this year. I can't just say I'm going to triple my real estate business. Oh yes, I'm visualizing tripling my real estate business. I can say I'm going to triple my real estate business. And to make sure that happens, I'm going to make my phone calls and send out my thank you cards each and every day. By saying that repeatedly over and over and spending a few seconds just visualizing what that looks like, visualizing having a good time making the calls, time blocking the time, writing out the cards, putting the stamp on the envelope, visualizing the look on the people's face when they open the card and have a little note from me. That's how I build up the faith, because I can start to believe in the things I need to do to make my dreams happen. Instead of just believing that the dream will happen, I believe that I have the power to do the things it takes to encourage the happening. All right, that's enough of that. I don't want to ramble on that too long. When we get back, Jay and I are going to talk about some of the events going on in town. We're going to talk a little bit about Martin Luther King Day. We're adjusting, and again, our prayers go out to our guest, David Noff. Congratulations, man. Your life is about to change in the most incredible way. I can't even describe it to you. So we're going to hear from our family of sponsors, and when we get back, we'll talk about what's going on in town.
Your CBD store Claremont provides a wide range of high-quality, full and broad-spectrum CBD products. Topical creams, tinctures, water solubles, edibles, and even CBD products for your pets. From soil to oil, your CBD store Claremont sources and provides third-party lab tests for all products so that you know exactly what you're getting. Stop by your CBD store Claremont today to speak with one of our knowledgeable staff members to find the right CBD product for you.
The best things in life aren't items we can grab and hold. They are the moments that grab and hold us. Moments that captivate us, inspire us, and enrich us. Moments that bring joy, strength, and peace. At Sing Insurance and Financial Services, we help you to treasure these times by being there when life's most difficult moments arise. Through our services, you will find independence, flexibility, health, and security that will prosper and protect your life. Whether you are driving that new car, buying that new home, opening that new business, or building a new family, we provide you the peace of mind and freedom to enjoy life's best things. Your next moment is waiting. Are you ready?
Hello, I'm Mary Rhodes with the Mortgage Firm, your local mortgage lender. I've helped thousands of families achieve the dream of homeownership in Lake County, and I would love to help you. Our team has over 30 years of experience helping first-time homebuyers, veterans, move-up buyers, seasoned investors, and more. Please read our reviews and visit us at mortgagefirmpros.com.
Are you tired of having drugs or alcohol ruin your life? Do you need to get off pain pills but still maintain pain relief? My office in Tavares has programs to help you. While not covered by insurance, program fees are affordable. My name is Alan Zupkin. I'm board certified and have helped thousands of patients achieve these goals. Please call me for further information.
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. Welcome back. Always so good to hear from our family of sponsors. You know, I know that I say this. You must get sick of hearing me say it, but if you know me at all, if you watch the show at all, you know I don't say anything on the station that's not true. I really do love these guys. I do. I appreciate them so deeply to advertise with us. And to help sponsor the things that we do, because without them, none of this could happen. And I really, really appreciate them. So that said, you know, one of the things we're trying to do here at South Lake TV, you know, this really is your source of what's going on in South Lake County. You know, we happening in South Lake County, or you want to know what's happening in South Lake County, you should be turning on South Lake TV. You know, we are working on several things. For instance, we're working on a community calendar. We're putting that together. You know, we want local businesses, organizations, and individuals, whenever they put something together, an event of some sort or something happening, doesn't have to be huge. It could just be a little thing for their business. We are the community calendar. We should be your first phone call. We can put you on our community calendar, promote your event or your happening, bring you on the show and interview you about the event or happening. And there's even opportunities to very inexpensively live stream your event so the entire community can see. To that event, to that goal, we wanted to talk today. I was going to do this very quickly in one of the sections, but we have a little bit of time so we can deep dive into some of this. Obviously, Monday is Martin Luther King Day. We have brought up the city's website has a nice article about this. There's going to be a parade, kicks off from McKinney Park, which is at 801 Bloxham Street, right across the street from Claremont Elementary School. That parade kicks off at 10 a.m. And it finishes up at Waterfront Park, which I believe the official address is 3rd Street, but it kind of covers several blocks. You know where Waterfront Park is. And there's a festival. So at the end of the parade, there's a festival from 11 to 4 to celebrate Martin Luther King Day. Look, I know Martin Luther King Day can sometimes be, people have some opinions, and it can be politically contentious and things like that. But you know, the truth is, to celebrate the import of African Americans in our community and in our history, I think is reasonable. You know, and whether it's called Martin Luther King Day, some states call it Civil Rights Day. You know, when I was a schoolboy, and you grew up in New England, you know, every schoolboy that's 3rd grade and above knows who and celebrates Crispus Attucks, who was the first victim, the first casualty of the Revolutionary War. You know, there are African Americans who've taken part all the way back then, and been major influence in our battles, in our history, in the things that happened to make sure America is what America is. So the men from Christian Men in Action, headed up by Tim Murray, there's actually a picture of Tim there on the, he is on the right, the second one in, and next to Darren Gray. Tim's actually an interesting guy. Now, you've actually met Tim on Joe Knows South Lake, not at this time, but I did a live from McKinney Park. Christian Men in Action were doing an event with the police where they were giving out toys to children from the community who might not have the whose families might not have the financial wherewithal to have an amazing Christmas. And I live in that neighborhood, and one of the coolest things my wife has found is watching the kids ride the scooters and the bikes and the roller skates and things that were given away that day. It's just so completely cool. I think Jay's bringing this up right here. Here we go. I don't think this is a long one, so we're probably not going to bring up the volume. This is Tim. He's a great, great guy. And, one of the coolest things about that conversation, as modern as we are, it wasn't so long ago that as a nation, we were separated by color. Tim was telling me about how he is from Claremont. He's lived in that community. He's a veteran of our military service. I think he said he was a veteran of the Air Force, over 20 years. And he left here as a young man and came back here and moved into that neighborhood. He has retired there, and for him, retirement has been pouring into the community. Christian Men in Action don't just do African American events. They do all sorts of events and help the underprivileged in the community. So it was really kind of an amazing interview, an amazing time. But the thing that really blew me away was how he talked about where Waterfront Park is. When he was a kid and a teenager, black people weren't allowed to swim there. They had to have a whole separate beach. And I think that when I celebrate this community is that we've changed. That would be appalling. If you suggested that, it would be appalling to most people today, at least most human people today. And I just think that that's a cool thing. So Tim is doing a great job. He gave me some perspective that day. Christian Men in Action, this is their second annual event, this Martin Luther King Day Parade, and I'm really looking forward to it. As a matter of fact, we're hoping to be able to cover this, because there are going to be some speeches from dignitaries at 11 when the parade finishes up at Waterfront Park. They're going to have all sorts of fun stuff, food trucks, and we will bring you more of that. Also going on the 20th at Winn-Dixie in Claremont, is right off of 50. There is a blood drive, Martin Luther King Day blood drive, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Get out, and they're giving away some freebies, but you know what? Don't do it for the freebies. There's actually some others. The 22nd, there is one. I think you have these up on the screen, don't you, Jay? This is Lake Sumter State College here in Claremont. The bus is going to be there Wednesday, the 22nd, and Thursday, the 23rd. This is all next week, so you can go donate blood if you don't have Monday off. You can get there to these other ones. 10 to 1, Stormy Hill, Harley Davidson on Saturday, the 25th. That's not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. Walmart, January 24th, Friday. Next Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., the Walmart. Do I need to tell you where Walmart is? Everybody knows where Walmart is. You might not even know the name of the road. You know where Walmart is. They're there from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Doesn't take long. If you have some extra time, I know this from donating blood myself. That's Sunday, January 26th. I know this from donating blood myself. If you have a little extra time, the thing they're always short of is platelets. And they have a special process, and if you can donate platelets, they really, really appreciate it. It does take a little longer than your average blood donation, but, for people who need that sort of a thing, for the surgeons and for doctors who need platelets to help somebody, that's really is a way you can just go the extra mile and bless people, and your body will reproduce the blood. Okay, Burgerim, my friends down at Burgerim, man, I saw Asif and his wife the other day when I brought my kids in there. And again, my children are huge. I'm huge. We made the mistake of ordering triples. Couldn't eat half of them. They were great. They have specials, daily specials. You have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today, what is that special? I can't read it from here, Jay.
We have the Spanish beef combo. Yesterday was Angus beef. Today we got Spanish beef.
And this is something these people look. Asif is a small business owner. This is a chain. It's a franchise, but he owns the franchise, which means it's on him to build this. Okay, and these guys are amazing. They do a great job. Literally, best fries in town. I don't know. I was at Root and Branch the other day. I love their hand cut fries. They were really, really good. But the chips out there at Burgerim are just so unique and so yummy. They're even good cold. That's what blows me away. Is most those fries you got to eat them when they're hot. Their fries you can eat them when they're cold. Great business out there. What else we got going on, Jay?
Well, we will be tomorrow night. We are going to be at Lake Mineola High School for the Lake Mineola basketball game. The boys varsity basketball team is going to be hosting the East Ridge Knights, so big cross-county rival matchup on Friday night. We will be there. I was just with the athletic director, Coach Banks, over at Lake Mineola High School, going over the details of the setup. So we will be there tomorrow. Depending on the how the JV games goes, we might have the second half of the JV game. We might start that early if it's a close one. But the varsity game starts at 7 p.m. The 4 and 10 Knights are welcoming the Lake Mineola Hawks, 6 and 11. We did cover their first game this season, which was actually at East Ridge, and the Lake Mineola Hawks were able to go to East Ridge and hold off the Knights. It was a very close game up until about the last 2 minutes of the game. So we're looking forward to another big matchup tomorrow night.
One of the cool things I think about these games, hey, leave that up for a second, Jay. One of the cool things is you've got East Ridge and Lake Mineola. Okay, now all of our sports teams have full schedules, but they don't often play together. They only get a couple of games where we have local schools matching off against local schools. This is a great event. You said this is tomorrow night, right? Yes. And it is at East Ridge?
Lake Mineola.
It's at Lake Mineola. Look, get it. How much? Do you know how much tickets are?
I think the tickets are only $5.
I mean, you get to see some great sports, some great kids hustling their butt up. If you attend one of these schools, you have a child, a grandchild, a nephew, niece that attends one of these schools, get out and support your school. I always love these games because, typically when you go to a game, the visitors stand is a whole lot less than the home stand. The energy at these games is great. And I'm not even a real big sports fan, but I'll tell you what, I love high school sports. I love college sports. They're not jaded yet. They're really playing because they want to play, and it's really important to them. You can get out there. And I'll tell you what, we got something else going on. Do we got food trucks tomorrow night?
I actually think that was last week.
That was last week.
It's usually the first Friday. That was last week, yes.
Last week. Well, here, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to make another suggestion. Downtown has some great restaurants, some great shops. We have great restaurants all over town. We've covered now Burgerim, Vita 365, Root and Branch Bistro. We've got more coming to you down the road as soon as I can schedule them. Get out, get to one of the restaurants. I'll tell you, one of my favorite restaurants in town is Faux Saigon. I came to Vietnamese cuisine late in life. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. I love Goombas. Goombas is down there. G's New York style pizza. We have some amazing restaurants here. If you're out there in Groveland, go to Chefing It Up Pizza. Look, get something at Chefing It Up from Groveland on Friday night and go home and watch the game. Okay? Go home and watch the game if you have to. If you can't get out to the game, go home and watch it. Patronize some of our great businesses in town. This really is, there's no reason in this community for you to be bored. I won't mention it by name, but I lived for a long time in another Lake County community, and man, you just had to do the same stuff over and over and over. We have such a dynamic community here. There's always something to do. There's always something going on. What are you looking at over there, Jay?
Actually, this is the Great Dubois, which is a two-person circus. And they're actually going to be, they've been on The Greatest Showman, Late Show with David Letterman. They're actually going to be at the Claremont Performing Arts Center on the 18th. Which is Saturday from 7 to what says midnight. That's a long show. They have, it's a two-person show, and it's a circus, and it will be at the Claremont Performing Arts Center. So you can go to the Claremont Performing Arts Center. You can actually check it out on the South Lake Chamber of Commerce website, which is another really kind of a cool thing that's going on. And we'll update you with some more things that are happening next week. We'll do that probably on Monday.
If I am not mistaken, I want to make sure I get this right. We actually have a local community theater, and they are always doing a show. This is going to come up. I want to make sure I tell you the right show because, let me see.
I believe you're going to be in a show. Is that correct?
I am going to be in one of their shows. You have let the cat out of the bag. It is interesting being around with... Oh, there you go. The Drowsy Chaperone. I believe... Is that playing this weekend? Is that the current show? Yes?
I believe so. No, it starts on the 24th.
That starts on the 24th. This weekend is dark, but that's all right. This is a good time to talk about this. Next weekend, these guys have been working for a long time. As a matter of fact, the show I'm in has been rehearsing at a local dance studio, not just dance, downtown Claremont, and right there on Main Street. We really appreciate the people that have letting the Moonlight Players use their space so that we can have a space, because this show is rehearsing in the space that we'll be rehearsing in come February. So there's so much to go on down here. If you just here in South Lake County, if you just pay attention. So there's a lot going on. If you like some theater, if you missed the symphony, I got to tell you what. You know what I thought was a real shame? We promoted the symphony here. Patty and I went to the symphony, had a great time, literally an amazing time. I don't remember good at date night. We're just good at it. Okay, 'cause we've been together for so long. It's just we're good at it. But the symphony was really special. I think that's going to rate right up there, top 10 date nights. And because usually symphony's so expensive, and this symphony is very, very affordable. And Patty and I were able to go out to dinner and, get a good dinner and then get in there. And the real shame of the symphony, these guys were so amazing and the space wasn't half full. We came in right at the last minute. We were able to get great seats. I'm not one for sitting there for a half hour and waiting for things to start. Personally, it's just the way I'm wired. Hated at movies. That's why I'm grateful that at a movie now I can buy a ticket and pick my seat 3 hours ahead of time, right? So that I don't have to sit there for a half hour so I can get the seat that I want. At any rate, went out to use intermission, came out, and I went out to use the facilities, and in the hallway that the facilities are in was a rest area for the musicians. I must have heard 6 different languages. There was Russian and Czech and Portuguese and Chinese, and it was just cool because you realize, just like Audrey said, these are literally world-class musicians from all over the world. This is a great, great time. Had a lot of fun. So if there's always something to do here, and if you question, what am I going to do? Give me a call. Call me up. You might find yourself having coffee and a cool conversation. And I want to get back to what Jay and I talked about a little bit earlier. Jay actually talked about this. Jay and I never planned on this. Okay? This was not, when Jay opened up the studio, he did not say, hey, let's do a show daily about what's going on in the community and bring all these people in and do some South Lake Bites. And, we've got other stuff, South Lake Biz, and we've got other things we're planning. He didn't say that. And I didn't say, hey, I want to get onto a television network and have a regular daily TV show. We both had some ideas. We had some experience. And a simple conversation over a cup of coffee turned into this. And I think one of the things that's so cool about that is I know we're having an impact on our community. I know it. I know that Jay and I's mission to get the secret out, to get the word out about South Lake County and how awesome it is, to put that spotlight on the cool people, organizations, and businesses. I know that's having an impact on the community. I know it's had an impact on my life, but Jay was talking about this, and we are a perfect example that the sum of the parts is far greater than the value of each individual or the sum of the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Together we are far more powerful, far more effective than we would be all by ourselves. So you want to call me to find out what's going on? You never know what might happen in your life. That simple conversation could turn into something big and help you with your dreams. All right. We need to go to a commercial break. No? We're just going to wrap it up here. We want to say thank you for joining us, man. If you know somebody who should be a guest on Joe Knows South Lake, I am still booking for the end of January and all into February and March. And now that we're into the new year, I'm actually booking some dates as far down as June and July. So get with me. Let me know if you have something you want to promote. If you have something coming up you know you're going to want to promote, let me know. I'm sure Jay has the information up there. If you have a business that does business in South Lake County, that has customers in South Lake County, or you need employees from South Lake County, you need to be branding your business here. There's no better way to get the word out, to give yourself credibility, and to reach the customers that you need to reach than by branding your business here. I believe that in my heart and soul. I believe we're more valuable than any other medium, and I know we're more affordable than any other medium in town. So reach out to us. We'll help you put together a package and start to get your business attached. Look, even the sports programs. You know, we have these great sports programs. We're constantly looking for a sponsor. Make your name synonymous with the sports programs and watch your business increase. It's proven facts. We have science to prove it. Finally, there is greatness inside you. And you should be, as Jay is doing, bringing out the greatness in others. You should be using your greatness to bring out the greatness in others. Don't be afraid to engage in a random act of kindness, to touch a life in some other way, because by touching a life, you will change the world. With that said, I guess we'll see you tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow, Jay?
I turned down my mic.
We have something very special for you. We have as usual, a group of amazing young people have done something very incredible from our local community. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag because we're going to have the show, but you got to tune in again to see some of the amazing young people, the students that make up such a big part of our community here. I know their parents are proud of them, the city's proud of them, we're proud of them, but you got to tune in to see that. So we'll see that too. I will see you on Monday, and I love you. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe Knows South Lake. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors: